What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Winter Exhibition. My name is axeltoss. I'm joined by axslav before we jump into the next game of Goswser versus Sase. Full Sail University is the official education partner of MLG. If you are looking for the next step in your educational path, and if you're interested in video production, graphic design, video game design, anything like that, fullsail.edu/MLG is your source. Go check out that website and read a little bit about it and see if it's right for you, and then they'll have you fill in some information about yourself and what you're kind of looking for, and then they'll send some information right back at you. We have a graphic designer here who graduated from Full Sail, so he definitely had a good experience there. And again, if you want to check it out, that'd be awesome. fullsail.edu/MLG. Also, youtube.com/official-MLG-SC2 is your source for anything that you see on the screen. So pretty much everything you see live is available right there. So if you missed any matches from the Winter Exhibition, it's on the website. If you are on the YouTube channel, if you missed anything from the Winter Championships, it's there on the YouTube channel. If you want to check out the top 5s we've played, if you want to check out the comments of the day or the NOS Pro Performance tips, all there on the website, youtube.com/official-MLG-SC2.
A lot of great content there. Not only everything we air, but also a lot of extra stuff, like you mentioned, comment of the days and
rules
whatnot.
of engagement VODs
yes,
as well.
really. But there's something else special going on today, and that is Mr. Ryan Thompson's birthday. So please wish him a happy birthday. Tweet at him at Cyanide. This guy is amazing. He's in charge of all the video production here at MLG. He does a great job there. And
executive producer at the live events. Pretty much everything you see on the screen, everything that happens at MLG would not happen without this guy. So guys, please take some time out of your day to tweet at him a nice message on Twitter. Let's make it awesome, because he's currently at home sick right now, which sucks on your birthday. So we were gonna have a party at the MLG office, but now we're not going to because he's not here. But guys, please tweet at him at SYNIDE. Tell him he's awesome, because he really deserves it.
he does.
He deserves the awesome messages on Twitter. Happy birthday, Ryan.
You know, a good time to do that is as we get into this game.
Yes.
Game number 3. Goswser is down 0-2, but the map is going to be Newkirk City. And on the linear map, the Swarmos are so strong. Goswser has shown that he knows how to use them. I think this is a great map for him to start staging his comeback.
We'll see if he can do it. Of course, he must win 3 games in a row to win this best of 5. He's definitely capable. One of the better North American Zerg players. He has proven many haters wrong, consistently performing very well in tournaments. Can he make the comeback happen here and win 3 in a row? He's your Blue Zerg player in the bottom right-hand location of Newkirk City. He is Goswser representing Team Millennium. And his opponent in the bottom left-hand location is your Red Protoss player. One of the most creative Protosses out there, has been able to dismantle his opponent's Infestor Swarm Host style play. Representing Team Fnatic and hailing from Sweden, he is Sase. One of my favorite Protoss players to watch.
He is. He's an awesome guy, and one thing about Sase is he has a lot of builds up his sleeve. Generally, when you're playing Zerg versus Protoss, you can rely on a Protoss expanding very fast every game, but Sase showed us in game number 1 and then again here in game number 3 that he likes these gateway openings as well, and he can really make them work. Very few Protosses have really ever had success at a high level playing gateway expands. I think Sase is pretty much the only one who's really made them work consistently.
Yeah, I'm going to watch closely. I'm going to watch this one closely, because...
Take notes on exact build, because Sase literally...
Because I could use some build orders from PvZ.
Everyone can, and everyone can learn from Sase's builds, because he puts so much thought in his builds. Every single probe, and even when he moves them into gas, how many he leaves on gas, when he takes them off, and when he puts more on, everything is really well thought out there. Like, he intentionally didn't mind that much gas until just now, right? Because he wants to maximize that mineral income, make sure he has 16 on minerals, because of course, while he wants some gas, so we can utilize that cybernetics core attack, he wants to get the minerals for that Nexus as soon as possible. So notice he's keeping 16 on minerals, and then as he gets more, he's probably going to end up rallying those to the gas. This is exactly what he's doing. 2 on every single patch, a very streamlined opening, and that is what Sase does. I mean, he's He's the master of streamlined openings. We can see
2 Zealots to open things up here.
yes. So he's gonna look to. This is actually looks similar to what he did game number 1, almost exactly so far. Actually, he got the Nexus after the first Zealot in game number 1, I think. I think he did.
I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean,
he just canceled the second one.
Okay. Yeah. So this actually does look like game number 1. Almost exactly. Getting the Sentry, because if you get the Sentry early, the cool thing about that is it'll start accumulating energy, allow for a faster hallucination scout, and it only costs 50 minerals, so it doesn't. You can kind of keep saving for the Nexus, but also make use of that gateway and develop your attack at the exact same time. Goswser, he looks like he's doing fairly similar stuff, although his gas is later than it was in those earlier games. The earlier games around now, he'd be already starting speed. But this game, we can see he has different plans. He has a nice mineral bank, so I assume that means he's going to get a much faster third base here than we saw in games number 1 and 2.
He's going to scout everything that's going on, knows about the expansion, going to see the Mothership Core pop out. And early Mothership Core is pretty cool here because the air distance on the map of Newkirk City is shorter than that rush distance, so the airplay can really be effective. And again, we saw this in game 1, getting that fast Mothership Core out, following it up with the Stargate. I would not be surprised to see Sase do the same thing here. For now, though, adding on the Forge and Gateway at his natural expansion. Of course, should be soon. We should see the tech choice fairly soon here. Of course, we'll definitely keep an eye on that. But meanwhile, as you said, Goswser getting the gas a little bit later, keeping guys in gas, though, even after starting that speed. So, again, going for that faster layer, it seems.
Yeah, definitely. I thought for a second he would do kind of similar to what he did in game number 2, which is speeding and then third and then layer. But it looks like he's actually, second gas already. So he's definitely going to be powering out layer off of 2 bases. Sase, though, is going to be putting on pressure. 3 gateways are completing. The Mothership Core is crossing the field. There are no proxy pylons quite yet, but I assume if you're going to get 3 gateways before you get a tech building, you're going to want to put on some pressure, make use of them, or else why would you get them that early, right? So he's going to be looking to put on some pressure. Roach Warren. Wow, Goswser building a interesting.
Oh, so there's no layer. He's just.
Is this going to be
get burrow? It feels like it might be too late for that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
or something
like
that. Because he's delaying that layer for sure. Like he has 200 gas. I feel like he's definitely going to want to make a lot of roaches here. There's no other.
Is this trying to exploit the fact there's no photon cannons for defense? And maybe if he can get a bunch of roach... You know, I actually don't know. Maybe he was anticipating some Zealot pressure early on.
True.
And he just wanted to be able to build roaches against that. But then why would you invest in Zergling speed and not use the Zerglings for defense? It seems like he's just kind of spreading his money out in a lot of different ways, not teching fast, but also not getting a great economy because his third base has just started right now. He'll be safe from airplay, but there's no airplay coming, right? He's got the Spore Crawlers. So kind of unique opening from Goswser, getting those roaches out. And that is going to deflect any type of gateway push Sase is going to do. But I think Sase, realizing the timing of the third, is not even going to move out with any significant gateway pressure. He's just going to be happy to keep getting a giant force. I mean, he's going to do this poke, and this poke's going to get shut down. But he has the recall. He can escape. And Goswser is committing to so many roaches.
He's got 5 drones in production too. And Sase sent a fake Oracle in, which is cool for a number of reasons. First, you can scout, obviously, and second, you can kind of fake out your opponent. If they see that Oracle, like, oh no, I don't want to lose drones, and they start running away with their drones, and all of a sudden it's going to be very worth it for you, even though it's just a fake. Of course, they don't want to take that risk of losing everything. However, Sase coming forward to this third hatchery, the Roaches and Queens coming forward. There are the force fields from Sase. The Mothership Core extending it quite a bit there. Gonna back up, don't want to lose that. Time Warp going down as well. There's a hallucinated Immortal in here as well. I feel like this is deja vu. I think he is, and he's gonna recall.
No, he's gonna get the hatchery, and he's just gonna recall.
Okay, deja vu. Deja vu.
Yeah, Goswser
what game happened? When did this happen? We casted it, Nick. Sase was involved on this map.
It was Sase versus Snoot.
Yep.
That was from the Winter Showdown Series, guys. If you want to catch that game, youtube.com/official-MLGSC2. That was a great game. But the interesting thing here is Goswser actually had a lot of roaches out.
Yeah.
But for some reason, they weren't protecting the third. Like, they were just all hanging back as natural. So that was something that the build Goswser did was so conservative. He powered out so many units early. If you do a conservative build and you lose your third base, you're in a really tough spot. And right now, he's in a very tough spot. So he's got to try to find a way to stage a comeback. But against a player as good as Sase, that's going to be exceptionally tough, especially Roach Hydra against this many force fields. There goes Infestation Pit. perhaps, you know, I wouldn't even mind to see him go like straight to Hive and try some crazy Viper usage, because I think playing a straight up game this far behind is going to be a very tough battle. So this is when you pull some unconventional moves, and Goswser is a master at unconventional play.
Something pretty cool there from Sase as well, and he did this against Snoot also. He hallucinated an Immortal into that composition,
Yes.
so that can honestly make your Zerg opponent a little bit tentative to engage, because, all right, if they have an Immortal, I'm going to need a lot more roaches than what I have, especially if they have force fields. That's going to pack a punch if I engage incorrectly.
He's playing Infestation Pedania Swarm Host in production. Did he already have one?
That is a fantastic point. He already has one.
Oh. Interesting. Sorry, I was just confused. I didn't realize he had teched up that fast. Swarmos aren't playing now, but I think he might lose his third base yet again. There is a recall available. There's plenty of force fields. He's just going to straight on give it up. Sase's got his own third base. He's working on +3 weapons. There's Hydrodus speed being produced, but I don't think there's any Hydrodus out because he's going Swarmos.
Yep.
Gswser is just falling further and further behind now. The creep's going to be pushed back. And Sase, you know, this is when a Protoss and Wings of Liberty would have retreated. Oh, now he's going to retreat because he sees Locust, and he doesn't want to obviously engage Locust.
Honestly, I think he might be able to take that army. There's only 4
he might,
there.
but he doesn't.
But it's not worth the risk.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know exactly what's waiting to potentially flank him. So he's going to attack from angle where there's no creep. Or at least try to poke around, see if there's a hidden base at the top right. And he knows he's killed Ghost's third base. He knows he has a third base up of his own, building a lot more production, going to the double robo Colossi play. So I think he's going to be happy just to basically keep Gswser on a defensive and wait to do the killing blow until those Colossi enter the field.
All right, Sase approaching his opponent's other third base. Gswser continuing to try to secure
Is he going to get the
this.
hatchery kill?
He's coming back with the Lings and the Roaches. Great force fields there from Sase. The Lings aren't going anywhere. Going to target down the hatchery now. Locusts are trying to get up close and personal, but the force fields are there, and the hatchery is going to be canceled. Sase has all the momentum in this game. He's essentially the one dictating the moves. The ball is in his court, and Gswser is he just doesn't have a response to this multi-pronged harassment.
He doesn't. I mean, on the one hand, Gswser is not very far behind in food, but if you look at the upgrades, he has like no upgrades. His first upgrade's on the way. Sase is almost 3 attack, or he has the 1 carapace, sorry. But Sase's third attack is almost completed. And Sase has double forges, so he's going to start armor and shields at about the same time. In fact, armor has already started. He also has double robot Colossi production, building the 4th Nexus. So, well, Ghost's army is actually not bad. In fact, it might even be as strong as Sase's, if not stronger right now. As the game goes on, with the upgrade differential and the heavy robotech Sase is invested in, it's going to be very, very hard for Gswser to continue the game. And of course, Sase has an insane amount of gateways up now, so he can easily reproduce his army.
Also has the option to recall with his Mothership cores, so for those worried about potential overextension here from Sase, you need not be, unless, of course, the Mothership core gets sniped, which we will be watching out for. But yeah, Sase starting to accumulate that Colossi count. He's got 2 in production, 2 on the field, and he might back up with this army, get those Colossi reinforcements, and then try to re-engage again. It looks like his goal throughout this game is just keep your opponent from getting a third base. And Sase is going up to 4, so he might allow that third, but he's still going to be able to apply a ridiculous amount of pressure as this game goes along, just considering the sheer force of his army. You know, we could talk about the upgrades. He's even adding High Templar, adding on Storm. And Gswser, I feel like he's still going to have trouble coming up with an answer. Oh my god, going to try to surround with the Lings. The Lings trying to get up close and personal there. There's not any Zealots in this competition. Okay, maybe 1, but those are great force fields from Sase.
They were. I mean, the Zerglings got a decent angle, but they were fighting alone against the entire Protoss force. And, you know, that wasn't a bad trade for Gswser, but I don't think it was a bad trade for Sase either. He's pretty happy to trade some of his low-tech gateway units for some of those speedlings. Normally, speedlings are basically free for a Zerg player. But in a situation where Gswser has been struggling to get his bases up, we can see he doesn't have a ton of minerals. This far into the game, normally Zerg has that big mineral bank, but he actually doesn't have that. It's Sase who, well, he had the big mineral bank. He just spent it all on gateways, but Sase is the one who will eagerly trade units. He still has like 900
minerals, so he still has a pretty sizable bank there.
He's definitely eager to trade minerals. He's now working on 2-2 for shields and for armor. Storm is almost done, and as the next 2 Colossi finish, as he gets Storm in charge, I think he's going to be looking to do the big death push. 1 or 2 more warpins, he'll be maxed out. And this isn't just like normal Colossi Stalker max death ball. This is a max death ball with insane upgrades, with Storm, and also, what's his gateway count at now? Is there a structures tab? Can you check that out?
10 warp gates.
And I think he has 6 more in production, so he's going to be on. Or is
We're going to find out very soon. We got.
Yeah.
I'll wait for them to finish, and then I'll hit that structures tab.
The idea is that during this push, it's not just 180 food he has right now, because he's going to be warping in basically 30 food of units every
17 warp gates.
Yeah, so we can warp in 34 food every 30 seconds, and that's going to be insane production rate. And that's because he's had this economic advantage for the whole game. And with Protoss, that advantage isn't always reflected in immediate food. It's reflected in production capability. Oh, and that pylon can be utilized with that massive warp gates. As he pressures the third from here, look out for some potential mass warp-ins there. A swarm of locusts approaches his army, but his army might be too bad. That's a lot of locusts.
It is, but he has Storm, he has this Colossi, lots of AoE, and he has this pylon that's going to continue to harass. So Gswser is going to have to split up his army at least a little bit to help deal with this. Locusts continue to churn out here. And if there's good news for Gswser, it might be the setting of the map, in that there's like pretty much only one attack path. So if you have a lot of locusts, it can definitely be good. But